Welcome to LC Screen Talk. My name is Larry, and today we have a very special guest here on the channel. This is Rachel. Hi! I'm actually in Salt Lake City for the weekend to go to Fan X and stay here and hang out with Rachel.
It's so fun!
And today we are talking about our most anticipated, our most hopeful, and most skeptical films for summer 2019. So for the purposes of this video, we're quantifying summer as May through August. So our parameters here are, we have seen it, whether at a pre-screening or a festival.
Yes, because I went to Sundance. It's a lot I'm actually really looking forward to in the summer, like Late Night and particularly Blinded by the Light and Maiden. Definitely look, and The Report. Look out for those. Really great. Especially Blinded by the Light. Go see it. Really good. August.
But those will not be on either, well, they could be on my list, I guess, theoretically, but they won't be on Rachel's list.
Yeah.
And then when we're talking about most skeptical, I didn't want to do just a straight up least anticipated movie because there's oftentimes, if it's your least anticipated, you might not even go see it. So this is movies we're likely going to be seeing this summer that we're very skeptical heading in. Not very high hopes there. And then for most hopeful, those are movies that could really go either way. That's like, I want it to do well. I want it to be good, but there's a good chance that it could be terrible. But I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful going in that it's going to be a lot of fun. So we're going to start off with our most anticipated films of summer 2019. Do you want to kick us off with your number 5?
Well, at least for me, these are not necessarily in numerical order. They're just kind of 5. So
I see.
So, all right. My number 5 is Yesterday. I really like Danny Boyle's Slumdog Millionaire is one of my favorite movies ever. I absolutely love it. And I love the Beatles. And so the idea of this sort of alternate reality of this world that's never heard of the Beatles, and I feel like I know kind of how it's going to play out, but I like the Beatles, and I think the music, and I like Lily James, and I forget who the male actor is in it, but I just thought it looked really charming, and I thought, just looked like a fun movie, and it had some of that energy maybe of Slumdog that I love, and so I was definitely excited to see it, so I hope it'll be fun.
So that one didn't make any of my lists. If it did, it would probably be on my hopeful list. Right. So fun fact, I actually participated in a focus group all about the movie yesterday. So they showed us like 6 or 7 different cuts of trailers they had. And that whole experience made me a little bit nervous for it because I'm like, uh-oh, they clearly don't know how to market this film. Let's hope.
Well, the trailer was
hopeful. It's good.
The trailer was really divisive. I watched it. If you listen to on my channel, you listen to my summer preview with my friend David, we both really responded positively to it. We both were like, oh, it looks so good. But then other people on YouTube and stuff are like, oh, it looks terrible. Ooh, so who knows what it'll be.
So in at number 5 for me, I have Rocket Man. Mm-hmm. So this one could have maybe gone on hopeful in that area because I'm slightly nervous. Seeing Bohemian Rhapsody made me a little bit maybe more nervous for this. But obviously I love Elton John. Elton John seems to be very excited for the film himself on the red carpets and such. And I think if they sucked all the gay out of it, Elton John certainly wouldn't be out there excited about it. At least this time we have the subject matter alive and here to kind of be like, oh, no, hold on. And not just his band members signing off for him in his life. But I think Taron Egerton is really talented. I think he's a great actor, and he's also a really good singer because I know that he'll be doing a lot of the vocals himself for the movie. Plus, it looks like it could be like this fun, fantastical style musical biopic, hopefully. So I'm excited. I got to meet Taron at Phoenix earlier this year. I actually asked him, I said, are we going to get like a good representation, or is it going to be like this heteronormative mess of a film? So he was hopeful that it will be good, and I am as well. So I'm really looking forward to it, and it's coming up here soon. All I have to wait is about a month.
Yeah, I'm really hopeful too. I didn't put it on my list just because I was worried about with the last trailer the last trailer felt like it was leaning away from those dreamlike sequences and stuff like that into being very kind of Bohemian Rhapsody-like.
Yeah.
So that's my only nervousness, and I knew you were going to mention it, so I didn't have it on my list.
Yeah.
So there are the two kind of music movies, Yesterday and
Rocket Man.
So hopefully they'll be good. Let's have some fun with good music. So
what do you have in at number 4?
Number 4, I have The Hustle.
Okay.
And this is a comedy with Anne Hathaway. It can be very funny.
Yeah.
And with Rebel Wilson, and they both play swindlers, con artists, con artists, people. And I think that it's a loose remake of Dirty Rotten Scoundrels, is my understanding. Obviously, gender swapped.
Yeah.
And I thought the trailer looked pretty funny. And I think that, I mean, maybe I'm just coming off a little high, having really liked Rebel Wilson in Isn't It Romantic. I love her in the first 2 Pitch Perfect movies. The third, Tipping Through Dark Place, I hated it. But I think it looks pretty funny, and I think they'll have pretty good chemistry between the two of them. So fingers crossed that it's funny.
I thought the trailers have been pretty funny as well. Rebel Wilson definitely has the best jokes in those trailers, like the trash bag dress and her shooting the guy. I mean, it definitely is like one that I'm hoping will be funny, and that it doesn't turn out to be like, oh God.
Yeah, I know. It's always hard with comedies to know whether that'll land or not, or it's just got every good joke in the trailer. But I hope that it'll be good, because I like funny comedies and I like laughing.
In at number 4 for me, I have John Wick 3 Parabellum, which I'm sure you will not be seeing, Rachel.
I haven't seen any of the John Wick movies. But I do watch the trailer.
They are quite violent. But I've loved both John Wick and John Wick Chapter 2. I don't love this title.
It's very long.
Yeah, it's very hard to pronounce. It's just like, what is that even going to mean, Parabellum? I don't know. But I really like Halle Berry for the most part. I don't think she's always in the best of movies, so we'll see. But hopefully she kills it in this action-y role that she gets to play in this movie. The trailer just looked good. It looked like a good lead-off straight out of the second one into this new world where it's John Wick versus the world. So I'm excited. I'm pumped. If you like the first 2, or if you like action films really in general, I don't know how you cannot be pretty excited to see that one.
Yeah. Number 3, I have Pikachu. And I have seen the last couple of Pokemon movies, and I really enjoyed them, because I don't know a ton about the franchise, to be honest, but I thought this trailer was really funny, and the Ryan Reynolds is great at doing that kind of dry way. I did not like Once Upon a Deadpool at all. And I think that he's going to do that kind of voiceover is pretty funny. So let's hope that it'll be funny. It looks kind of creative, and we'll see. It's definitely a property that I never thought that I would be that interested or excited in, but because it's I do like those Pokemon movies that I've seen, but this idea of live action usually is terrible. But this looks pretty fun, so we'll see.
So I'm not going to talk about that one right now, because spoiler alert, it's going to be talked about soon. But in at number 3 for me, I have Spider-Man Far From Home. So supposedly the last film in MCU Phase 3. We're closing it out, not with Endgame, but with Spider-Man Far From Home.
Wrong title.
So we'll see. I'm excited. I thought the trailers have also looked very good. I like that dynamic. I like the idea of Spider-Man really pulling back now, kind of getting a taste of the big leagues, and then being like, you know what, I don't want to be Spider-Man all the time. I just want to go out on vacation and have fun in Europe with my friends. His dynamic with Zendaya as MJ just seems to be really great. And of course, I'm excited for Nick Fury to interact with him as well. And I love Jake Gyllenhaal. So Jake Gyllenhaal in a comic book movie as Mysterio hopefully will be just as good and just as fun as it sounds. So it's not like Endgame levels of excitement within the MCU, but I liked the Spider-Man Homecoming well enough. I didn't love it, by any means. But I thought it was a lot of fun. And if I get a lot of fun out of this one, I'll be happy.
Yeah. Yeah, you'll see that coming up on my list. But yeah, I agree with everything basically you said. I'm really looking forward to it. And, I like Marvel movies, so for the most part.
They're usually going to end up on my most anticipated.
I didn't have that many epic, big blockbuster movies that I'm really looking that much forward to. Like, there's a couple I'm going to talk about in the hopeful ones, but I don't know. This year, when I was looking over the summer things, it's not a super exciting slate for me as far as the blockbusters, but hopefully I'll have some big surprises. But there's not that much that I can't wait. But anyway, so the number 2 for me is The Dead Don't Die. And this doesn't sound like a normal movie that I would love, because I normally like horror movies. But the trailer was so funny, and I can't even remember all the actors, but they were all hilarious. There's Bill Murray is in it, and
Adam Driver.
Yeah. I love Adam Driver. Everybody.
Gomez.
Yeah, everybody just seemed super funny, and the trailer kept making me laugh. And I really enjoy kind of horror comedy more than horror. And I really enjoyed Anna and the Apocalypse, because of the zombie Christmas movie. So this is maybe be my zombie summer movie. So it's going to be great. So I'm really looking forward to it. I think it'll be fun.
Yeah, horror comedy is definitely hit or miss with me. I'm not as forgiving, maybe. I'm not as easy to pull in. But it definitely has me intrigued. It has me interested to see. Hopefully it's good. But that's when I'm definitely waiting out judgment until I see more or see the actual film itself. But it looks fun.
I hope it'll be kind of like Zombieland, which I really enjoyed. I thought that was fun.
All right. So in at number 2 for me, I have Detective Pikachu. Now, if you would have asked me when they first announced this would have been on my least anticipated. It would have been most skeptical. No, thank you. I don't want a live action Detective Pikachu movie. What a weird concept to have him talk. And I know it's based off of the game, clearly, but it seemed terrible. But that first trailer I thought was a lot of fun and already turned me. I was like, okay, maybe I can get on board with this. But subsequent trailers, I think, have done even a better job of really hooking me in, having the Pokemon theme playing, having I Need a Hero as part of it. It's just okay, this looks like so much fun. I loved that last trailer where it's meet the Pokemon and they all have their little moments to strut, and they show all of the Pokemon we know and love. I'm over the moon excited now.
I really hope this is Pixels done right.
Yes, I hope so too. It looks like it also has a lot of heart. It looks like we're gonna get hopefully an interesting story with this little mystery that they're trying to solve about his dad, and he's going to get to obviously love Pikachu because, first of all, just like with Dumbo, mission number 1, you have to have cute Pikachu, and they definitely accomplished that. That little Pikachu that they made is so cute. I already bought the plush. I'm already on board, Joe. So it's my number 2 most anticipated. I'm just so close now. We're just a couple weeks away, and I can't wait.
Nice. All right.
So what is your number 1,
My number
Rachel?
1 most anticipated is Spider-Man Far From Home.
Oh, okay.
Just because I really enjoyed the trailer. Jake Gyllenhaal, of course. I like the European change. Nick Fury, who's in every Marvel movie. Best player. And I love Nick Fury. And it'd be really nice breath of air after Endgame being so intense and so long. To have this fun little movie, Spider-Man movie, I think it'll be a nice palate cleanser, as they say. And so, yeah, I think it'll be fun. So, that's fingers.
I definitely agree. That's what was on my list too. Yeah. So, in at number 1 for me, I have Godzilla, King of the Monsters.
Yeah.
I am so pumped. I am so excited for this film. It was my number 2 most anticipated film of the entire year when I announced only behind Endgame. So I'm a huge Godzilla nerd. I grew up watching all of the old movies from the very first one. This guy in this kind of cheesy rubber suit stomping around on these little model cities. I mean, obviously it's cheesy now, but it's so much fun. I love the old Godzilla movies. I really enjoyed the 2014 Godzilla movie. In particular, it got amazing when we actually got Godzilla like fighting those monsters. I just lost my mind in the movie theater. And now Queen Mothra. Mothra is actually my second favorite character behind Godzilla. So getting her into this movie is amazing. King Ghidorah, Rodan, all of it. So the trailers have like blown me away. The visuals look absolutely stunning. Those posters with Godzilla and his atomic breath, oh, they're so good. I really hope it doesn't disappoint because there is obviously a chance that it could. But seeing as I enjoyed Godzilla 2014 more than a lot of other people, I didn't really mind the slower pace. Yes, the human characters needed to be a little more interesting. But everything to do with Godzilla was so fantastic. So hopefully it kills it again, and I'm just so pumped.
I can totally see why. I am not a huge monster movie person. It's not my favorite genre. But I didn't love Godzilla, but I didn't hate it. But I really didn't like Kong Skull Island. I thought it was a mess. It was fragmented all over the place. I felt like every character was in a different movie, and I really hated those creatures. Like Kong looks good, but the weird skeleton, I forget what things. Yeah, I hated those. They were terrible. They looked terrible to me, and like the majority of the time was spent fighting those creatures that looked terrible, and not enough time with Kong. Yeah. And they tried to kind of wedge in make Brie Larson the damsel in distress at the last minute. That movie was just not for me. I didn't like it. But so that's what makes me more nervous about this is the fact that I was not super high, especially on the last movie of this franchise. So now when this comes, I'm like, and it looks a little self-serious. It looks a little, boring at times when I watch the trailer. But I know it's just like all these monsters and stuff, but just everything. It looks like it's taking itself very seriously.
I know. Rachel has a thing with long action scenes.
Yeah, it's like,
and I think we're gonna get a lot of action scenes. Hopefully,
but you know, if it does do well, I'm trying to think of a monster movie that. I mean, I guess if you count Jurassic Park, that's like my favorite ever.
The ultimate for you.
But I really just liked all of the sequels of Jurassic Park. So I don't know. I'm very picky when it comes to monster movies. But I like the original King Kong because there's like heart and emotion in there. But anyway, that's my nervousness about that movie, but you cannot deny that the cast is amazing. I love Kyle Chandler. He's always great in anything he does. Millie Bobby Brown, great.
Farmiga,
great.
Really great.
And it looks very blue. For some reason, the cinematography to me, it looks very, very blue.
At least it's not orange.
Yeah, it's not orange. But it does look, the special effects and everything look really good. And we'll see.
So speaking of worry and skepticism, what's your number 3 most skeptical film of the summer?
So my third most skeptical is Hobbs and Shaw. This is a spinoff from Fast and Furious series. And I have been hit and miss with the Fast and Furious series. I really liked sort of the section that was sort of heist movies. I wasn't as big a fan of the Point Break ripoffs beginnings of the series, but I liked that middle area from like 5 to 7. The last one that just came out, I didn't really care for. I thought it was, I didn't like that they split up the team. And I particularly didn't like Charlize Theron as the villain. I thought she was super lame and boring. And I didn't like them trying to turn Dom into the villain when he's like the emotional heart of the whole crew. That didn't work for me at all. So I didn't really I did love Jason, what's his name?
Statham.
With the baby. That was the best part of the movie for sure. But the rest of the movie, I was just like, okay, I've seen another car crash. I'm going to roll my ass. But anyway, I've been hit and miss with the franchise as a whole, but I can definitely really enjoy them and really like them. But this trailer just looked like a generic superhero movie. It did not look like Fast and Furious hardly at all. And it's like, okay, now we're moving into a second phase where they're kind of low-rate superhero movies. And that's definitely way less interesting to me. It's just because we have so much of them. And so, yeah, Hobbs and Shaw, number 3 for me. The Rock and Jason Statham are super charismatic. But the rest of the trailer, I was kind of rolling my eyes.
Yeah. So in at number 3, I have Child's Play. Mm-hmm. So Mark Hamill's really trying to get us excited. He is really out there pushing this Child's Play right now, but he didn't like my tweet. No, I just no, but Child's Play, I mean, right off the bat, I was like, oh, do we need a remake? I mean, they're still making those stupid films, like not very well, mind you. And maybe that has me really dampened, is I can't remember the last time I really enjoyed a Child's Play movie. Yeah. Probably Bride of Chucky is the last time I liked it.
Do you find it weird that this is like the summer for scary doll movies?
No,
because there's an Annabelle movie.
Which is like, hopefully that's good. I mean, the second one was really good.
Everyone's going to be nervous going to Toy Story 4. They're like, oh,
yeah, I know.
They're going to kill somebody.
I don't know. The poster was super underwhelming. The trailer was, I know a lot of other people really thought the trailer was fun. I thought it was kind of cringy. I am just really nervous. I do like a few of the Child's Play, like in particular the first 2 and then Bride of Chucky. I really enjoy those films. I don't know. Does Chucky and Child's Play have a place in the 2019 landscape? I guess we'll see, but I need something more to sell me on the whole thing. So that's my number 3.
Yes, that's a good choice because I probably won't see it. That's a good choice. All right, my number 2 most skeptical is The Lion King, and I think that people who want what this movie is will probably like it. And so it's sort of an unfair, I know it's just a weird situation, but I don't have any desire for a photorealistic Lion King. I already have the Lion King in my life, and I'm happy with it. I don't need it to look real. That's just not something that interests me or inspires me, or so like I don't know. I just, as a Disney blogger, of course I'm going to see it, and of course I'm going to give a fair review. But I just am extremely skeptical. Especially, I don't like the way they made Scar like super bland looking, and he doesn't have any, like, he doesn't have a black mane, which is totally a thing in nature. I don't understand why you would do that. And like they even showed sort of the expressions on the face, like you can't get the same, like the eyes are just, you can't get the same reaction, emotion that you can get from animated characters. And I at least I haven't seen a lot of, I have seen a few articles of like why the Lion King isn't as good as you remembered it, and that irritates me to no end, and I hate these live action remakes because of it. But it just feels extremely bland and uninspired to me, and I hope I'm wrong, and I hope it'll be great, but it'll probably make $1 billion, but I'm not interested in it.
So in at number 2, it pains me a little bit to say this, I have X-Men Dark Phoenix. I mean, honestly, how could it not be? How could you not be skeptical?
Yeah.
How? With all of these delays, it's been pushed back so many times. I thought the first trailer was fine. I didn't hate the first trailer personally, but I didn't like the teaser trailer. I didn't like the images they released. Have been real sketch. They've done these like little promo videos with Jean Grey, Sophie Turner, that I'm like, oh, this is not really very good quality. And then the whole thing with Jean Grey and the Phoenix's backstory is already wonky because X-Men Apocalypse, she supposedly taps in to the Phoenix Force at the end to defeat Apocalypse, but now we're being sold that she's getting it from outer space. But also the trailers are they're saying, yes, something happens in outer space, and that's where the Phoenix originates. But also Charles Xavier did this weird block thing again. I don't know. The trailers have been super unclear with what way they're going with the Phoenix story. If they do the stupid Charles Xavier trying to control her and block off her powers in her mind again, then I'm really gonna hate it, because why are you just remaking your own movie at this point, Fox? This is
not even
the
a very good movie.
one of the worst movies in the canon, and you're remaking this. Great. But if they do the other storyline, then it comes into, well, can you do it right? Can you do justice to this like awesome story? Plus, at this point, we actually know none of these actors are coming back. I mean, Ryan Reynolds is it. This is it for these X-Men. So it's hard to really take stake in that. I mean, we're going to move forward with the X-Men with Disney from now on. So I'm just skeptical about it all. I'm hopeful a little bit. Maybe, please, give me a good send-off X-Men movie. But all signs are not pointing that way. So my number 2, most skeptical film of the summer.
Yeah, I agree. It's also my number 1
most
skeptical movie of the summer. I do not trust these people within an inch of Jean Grey and her story and the Dark Phoenix story. I don't think that this new cast, with the exception of with Michael Fassbender and James McAvoy, I don't think that they have any investment anymore in this franchise. Maybe they did at the very beginning, but I think it's been quite a while, really. And I think that it's no big secret that I hated X-Men Apocalypse, and it was one of my rare rant reviews that I did. I just thought that movie was so fractured and so frustrating, and I hated Apocalypse as a character. I thought he was just like a Transformers villain to me. He was awful. And so this movie, the part of me just wonders, why didn't you just shelve it? Like, it's just all these delays. I thought the trailer looked terrible. I think that when your very first trailer, you basically spoiled that one of your key characters of your whole franchise is getting killed within probably the first 10 minutes. Kind of like, ugh. And I don't know. I just think it looks really bad. And so and also because Disney doesn't even care about it. I don't think it'll be very good. I wouldn't be surprised if it's on my 10 worst of the year list.
Oh,
get ready.
All right. Well, we did a little bit of a swap here, because in at number 1, I have kind of a cheat, but I have the Disney live action remakes. I'm just lumping both Aladdin and Lion King in here because I'm very skeptical about them both. So for a little bit different of reasons. Lion King, I have no real skepticism that the quality of film will be fine. Just like The Jungle Book, I think that Jon Favreau has earned a certain level of, it's going to be well executed. The animals we've already seen, they're going to look good. They're going to look like lions and other animals of Africa. Baby Simba, I think, does look very cute, so kudos for that. But it's just hard to get excited for this live-action Lion King when the trailers have just been cut and paste carbon copies of the animated trailers, even not even just the animated film. They literally have copied the trailers they released back in 1994. Like, what in the world? It just is a very weird choice. So nothing in there has made me just want to die watching those trailers, but nothing in there has made me excited either. It's just there's nothing to be excited about for me, which is a shame. And then when we get over to Aladdin, I'm much more skeptical about the quality of film that we might be getting. These trailers and the promotional material has ranged from just horrible up to, okay, that's fine to me. Some of it looks great, and Disney knows they have a built-in advantage when it comes to something like the Aladdin trailer, because it's going to kind of sweep you in, much like Beauty and the Beast did, just by doing these cool ways of remixing their songs to how they did Friend Like Me in the background of the full-length. Of course, you're going to kind of get sucked in. You're like, oh, hey, I love this song. But then you realize, oh, wait, what is this visual I'm looking at on the screen? I don't love this. So we've already seen Guy Ritchie's slow-mo Aladdin falling and all of these action moments. So you can tell Guy Ritchie is definitely directing. I know that this is a big rant for Rachel, but I don't love how I don't like it at all, how they kind of portrayed or been talking about Jasmine being this weak character, that her whole storyline has revolved around a man, and we're going to change that and make her a feminist. What? Jasmine was a great character to begin with. Thank you very much. I love Jasmine. And so the costumes looked a little bit better in that full length trailer because, again, if there's anything we want from these Disney films, it's beautiful production design and beautiful costumes. That's what we can depend on.
Yeah.
So these Aladdin costumes have been very hit or miss, looking a little bit cheaper than normal. So I don't know. Hopefully these live action remakes will be good. Hopefully they'll prove me wrong and they'll get me back on the live action train. But honestly, I was more excited for Dumbo than either of these two. So, yeah, it's more skeptical.
Me too. I'm pretty skeptical about Aladdin as well. I don't really like Guy Ritchie as a director. I especially didn't like his last movie. But also, it's just, what's the point? Why are we doing this? And, I mean, I guess I'm a little bit more curious than Lion King because I feel like they are maybe doing something a little bit different with Genie and changing up a few things a little bit. So we'll see. But yeah, I mean, it's just hard because when you have something that's so iconic as Robin Williams, like if I were gonna do it, I would just go like really dark, like the old, like the real legend, and like I would scrap the songs like they did with Cinderella because I think that just makes way more sense because everybody's just going to compare it to the original, which was so well done. So it's a lose-lose situation, it seems like to me. But it probably will make $1 billion. So
Beauty and the Beast showed them to the way, to the money train.
I mean, I do like that they have a new cast for the most part, except for Will Smith, of course. But I want old school Will Smith back. So I hope this will be kind of a little bit of a
Will Smith, unfortunately, is not the girl he once was. He's had too many duds, and
I know
he's lost his charisma.
But he was doing dramatic Will Smith for so long. I want blockbuster fun Will Smith, and so if this brings that back to us a little bit, that would be really fun. But I'm very skeptical about both of these movies. They look pretty terrible, so we'll see.
Okay, so I know you like to be a hopeful and optimistic person, so we're going to end on the films you're most hopeful for going into the summer, starting with number 3.
Well, for me, there wasn't a ton of difference between anticipation and hopeful. That was pretty similar. So these were ones I'm like anticipating, but they have a high fail rate.
Okay,
if that makes sense.
That makes sense.
Okay, so my third choice, I guess, is I love romances when they're done right. I have a romance called The Sun is Also the Star. And the main reason that I'm curious about this is because I really am intrigued by these two lead characters. I like the fact that the male character is Asian looking, and that the female character is she's black, Jamaican, I think they're saying in the trailer. And she's an immigrant, and they have this like one day. We're going to find out if they're like mated together, which is super cheesy, but like it's executed well. And they have like good dialogue and they have good chemistry, then it could be really cool. And I've never seen any of these two actors. And so it could be it's potential to be a real star making thing. It could be, and so I'm very intrigued by it. And I'm hopeful, you said high fail rate, but I'm hopeful that it'll be a pleasant surprise.
Yeah, with this one, I haven't loved those trailers. I like the beginning of the trailers. I'm like, it hooks me in, but then it quickly loses me. But you're much more the demographic than I am. So hopefully it's good. Of course, I love seeing a diverse cast, especially like Asian black.
It's
like
cool.
a nice departure from even like the normal diversity standards.
Well, and it's nice too to just have somebody that you're not. Sometimes it's distracting when you're watching a romance and you're like, thinking about, what's the last movie Cara Delevingne was in, or like it's just nice. This is somebody fresh. Maybe other people recognize them. I didn't recognize them, and so it even makes sort of it more something more exciting. So we'll see. Yeah.
So in at number 3, I actually have a film you've mentioned on another one of your lists. I have Hobbs and Shaw.
Oh, really?
So I also wasn't in love with that trailer. I actually watched it for the first time later than everyone else, and everybody seems to be having a really positive reaction, really having fun. I was not impressed. I didn't really like the song choice of Why Can't We Be Friends. Also, it just seemed very cheesy to me overall, like too cheesy. But I'm like a diehard for the Fast and Furious franchise. I love the Fast and Furious, most of them. And there's a couple of real duds in there, let's be real. But like 5 and 7 in particular, I think are so good, and I love them both. I love the cast of characters.
But don't you feel like it's gone like full on out superhero movie?
This one, well, especially with Idris Elba and this villain. Like, what in the world? He's like bulletproof, and they've like modified him. The villain part is the part that I'm like, okay. Like, if it was just more of a buddy cop action comedy with Dwayne The Rock Johnson and Jason Statham, maybe. And that's what I think I'm probably going to like the most is those two running around together. And I love Idris Elba. I just kind of sometimes am like, fire your agent, because you should be like A-list blockbuster, like megastar, and instead you keep putting yourself in terrible movies. But let's hope that's not a sign of what's to come. I don't know. I'm very skeptical about if it will be good, but I'm very hopeful that I'm going to love it. So let's see how it turns out. So what's your number 2, Rachel?
My number 2 is a live action from Disney, but it's Artemis Fowl, and this is based on a book. I don't know if it's a fairly recent book or like from the 90s or whatever. I don't know, but it is pretty popular starting series, and I would love nothing more for Disney to have a successful live action new series that they could kind of build behind, and everybody could get excited about it again. Because we really haven't had anything like that since, I don't know, maybe the first Pirates movie. I can't think of when they started a new series that has produced, multiple movies that people have gotten really into. I would just so much rather have that be successful enough to keep making movies, and that it's good enough to, even if it's not perfect, to be kind of a sounding board, that rather than these live action remakes, which is just going through their catalog. Like, I was so hopeful that Wrinkle in Time would be that, and then it wasn't. And the last few times that they've tried, Tomorrowland, that they've tried to kind of start something new, it hasn't really worked. And so I'm just very hopeful that this will be something fun and creative. And so I don't know a ton about it, but I think there was a teaser trailer, but it didn't tell you a ton. Maybe there's a full trailer, I can't remember, but I'm hopeful that it'll be a really fun new thing and that it'll work for Disney.
Hopefully, because I think all studios are really struggling right now to find that with like those young adult-ish type things. It's just been a mess. So we'll see. So in at number 2, I actually have Shaft. So this is the remake of, obviously, the original Shaft. Samuel Jackson's back. We have the original Shaft is coming back. I thought this trailer looked like a lot of fun. I was laughing in the trailer. I think it looks so good. It has a high potential to be cheesy. That's why it's only on like hopeful level. But I thought the first trailer was really good, really funny. It had that action. It had that like throwback to the old Shaft that definitely upgraded. I love the new kid who's kind of like taking the mantle in this. So I'm not like super enthused to put it on my most anticipated, because I think there's a chance that it could disappoint. But I'm looking forward to it. I think it should be fun. I hope it is, at least.
Yeah. I mean, I know nothing about Shaft. But anyway, if you listen to my preview podcast with my friend David, we talked about it. Like, neither of us knew anything about Shaft, but it looked like a fun movie, and it looked like it would be entertaining, particularly to its target demographic. So,
and I'm right there.
There you go.
So what's your number 1? What are you most hopeful? You're just like holding out hope it's going to be good.
My most hopeful is Toy Story 4, because I'm not a big fan of Forky yet, although his Twitter handle is hilarious. So just give somebody hope. But the whole Forky thing, I'm just kind of like, I don't know. It's just weird. And but everybody who has seen either clips or parts of it have been raving about it. When they showed it at CinemaCon, everyone was like, wow, that was amazing. And there's some like rumblings going around that Forky is actually kind of symbolic for like minorities and maybe even LGBTQ, because he does have that rainbow sticker on his foot. And so that would be really interesting if they are able to kind of, the idea is he can't control how he's made, right? And he was made unique compared to all the other toys. So that could be a really cool message. And like Tom Hanks is saying, he's just like sloppy. Tim Allen is saying, so all of this stuff, even though I just haven't loved Porky, maybe I will end up loving Porky and I'll be wanting to buy the Funko Pop when it's done. I don't know. But Pixar almost never lets me down. I almost always love their movies. And I don't, and I've loved all the Toy Story movies. So the chances, I guess it doesn't really have that high a fail rate, but, and I guess I put it on this one rather than the most anticipated because I feel like I have that nervousness, I guess, about it. So I don't know.
I'm right there with you. I'm hoping it's good. I hated Forky in that initial trailer particularly. The second one, I still wasn't a fan, but I warmed up just a bit. And then I'm one of those old curmudgeon types that's like, ugh, the third one ended so perfectly that I already was a little bit annoyed that they announced a fourth one.
Yeah.
Well, $1 billion. So of course.
Well, and I was really surprised because they always say at Pixar, they only do it when they have a story to tell. And they have a story to tell. And then it seemed like they kept having rewrites and starting it again and problems and changing. Obviously, they had to, they changed directors from John Lasseter before all the mess, but changing directors, producers, moving things around. And so I was kind of like, do you have a story? Like,
do you at all?
What's going on? So, but that wouldn't be the first time they've had this kind of mess with Toy Story 2. They had to basically completely redo it in like 18 months.
Wonderful.
And it turned out great. So I have faith in Pixar. I have faith in Toy Story. I have faith in all of these people at CinemaCon that are crying. So don't let me down, CinemaCon goers. Because they all love, like everybody I heard loved it. So we'll see.
Yeah, I also have another franchise moment for my number one. So the movie I'm most hopeful for, holding out hope on, is Men in Black International, which is probably hope misplaced. That's why it's on this list. But I think Chris Hemsworth and Tessa Thompson both had so much chemistry, and they were so good together on Thor Ragnarok. Plus, separately, obviously, if you watch my channel, you know how much I love Chris Hemsworth. And then I love Tessa Thompson as well. I love Emma Thompson, who's in the film as well.
Yeah.
So the cast was so good. Liam Neeson in there, at least for just a little bit. Doesn't look like he'll last long in the film. But I thought the trailers have been fun and funny. I thought they have really shown off some good stuff. And honestly, it's kind of the case, as I said, with Hobbs and Shaw. If we're really just banking on like a buddy cop, buddy partner type thing, much like the first film with Will Smith and Tommy Lee Jones, if we're banking on these two playing off each other well, then I have faith that I will at least have fun, I'll laugh, I'll enjoy myself with Hemsworth and Thompson. Oh, Tessa Thompson, yeah. Like, wait, I'm saying the wrong one. But yeah, I will have faith that between Hemsworth and Tessa Thompson, we'll have some good chemistry, some good laughs. Well, I mean, and it's just like a big budget sci-fi. So I'm hopeful it's good. I'm holding out hope that it stays positive for me, but there is a high chance of like, oh God, it's another Men in Black 3 situation. Or even 2. 2 wasn't very good either. So I'm like, oh gosh, since the first Men in Black movie, they've struggled. But maybe we can find our way back around.
The sequels for Men in Black are not great. But I mean, if you're going to do a gender swap, this makes sense. Because why wouldn't they have female agents? Of course they got female agents. So of course, it's no problem. But I actually liked our trailers. I think it's looked fun. The only thing, I'm just hearing all this bad buzz, which makes me nervous. People are saying, oh, the screens have become terrible and that it's awful. And so that makes me really nervous, but I would love that if that was good. I would love that it was funny. So let's hope.
Let's hope. Well, that's it. Those are our lists for most anticipated on down to like the ones we're kind of dreading to see. But we know we're seeing them anyway. So make sure to leave your own list in the comment section down below. Let us know if you're excited for these films. If you're not excited for the films that we put here, start the conversation in the comment section down below. And also make sure to check out Rachel's preview for this summer. And while you're at it, make sure to subscribe, like all of that fun jazz. So let them know where they can find you, Rachel.
Yes, you can find me at Rachel's Reviews all over social media and on iTunes and YouTube. So we really appreciate it if you check it out. And you can find me at Hallmarky's podcast as well.
Perfect. And while you're here, if you liked this video, then go ahead and hit that like button down below and subscribe to the channel so you are always up to date on our latest videos. So I love you all so much for your continued support. Mwah! Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.